So it actually took me over 2 years and watching over 200 pitches from startups before I made my very first angel investment. If you don't know me, my name's Chris Dunn. I'm an early Bitcoin investor and educator, and I'm here to help you grow your wealth. So in this video, I want to talk about the 4 red flags that as a startup investor, you should look out for when listening to pitches from startups. And if you're a founder, these are some things you should never ever do if you're pitching investors. Okay, so why did it take me so long to make my first angel investment? Well, I joined a couple of angel investing networks and I talked to several guys that had made dozens of investments over the years and had 0 exits. In other words, they cut a whole bunch of checks and never got anything returned. Sounds like a pretty terrible way to invest, right? Well, I didn't want to waste any of my time, and I certainly didn't want to light a bunch of money on fire and just see it fly away. So what did I do? Absolutely nothing. I went to all the pitch meetings, I went to the lunches, and I picked these guys' brains, and I tried to figure out why did so many of their investments fail, or why haven't they had any exits yet? And I didn't think I was any smarter than these guys because a lot of them were either MBAs or they had sold companies for tens or hundreds of millions of dollars themselves. And here I was like a 20-something-year-old college dropout. So I didn't want to go into it with a cocky attitude that I knew better than them. I just wanted to absorb as much knowledge as they were willing to share. So the benefit of joining an angel investing network is you get access to a lot of deal flow. You get to watch a lot of pitches, you get to talk to a lot of founders, and you get to talk to a lot of other angel investors that have area expertise in different businesses. It's just an awesome way to learn and get access to high quality investments. But throughout my time in these angel investing groups, I actually saw some pretty horrendous shit. Everything from stolen deals where an angel investor would take a founder out of the back of the room and say, look, I want to cut you a check for the entire round, to fraudulent founders, people just basically trying to run scams, to embarrassing pitches and everything in between. So here's some of the red flags that I saw that can help you save millions. The first one is companies raising money because they suck at sales. So if you've ever watched Shark Tank, you've probably seen pitches where entrepreneurs go on there and they have an idea, but they haven't gotten any sales yet. And that usually ends with them getting laughed off of the show, right? And if you call yourself pre-revenue, it's really bullshit. What that is just a lack of effort on the founder's part. And it's very rare that anybody on Shark Tank would actually ever get a deal unless they just purchase the rights from the entrepreneur right then and there. And well, the same thing happens in the real world at these angel investor pitch meetings. And a lot of people try to raise money before putting even a little bit of effort to validate the idea or prove themselves as an entrepreneur. And it's just really embarrassing. So I never saw a pre-revenue deal get funded. And as an entrepreneur, you better have sales before pitching investors. Now, the next red flag, this is kind of funny. I'll never forget, there were these 2 guys that came in and they pitched their company. And when they got to the financials part of the pitch deck, they were showing where they were going to allocate the $5 million they were trying to raise. And one of the line items was founder salaries. It was 2 guys and they had each put in there a 6-figure salary for themselves. So guys, never do this. When you're raising capital from investors to fund your business, you don't take a dime out of that money. You are not an employee of the business. You are the founder for a reason. And what I did is I politely raised my hand and I said, hey, can you guys kind of explain why you're putting a 6-figure salary in there? And they hem and hawed and danced around it. And I said, look, guys, there's a big difference between being an employee of a business and a founder. And if you want to take my money to support your dreams, that's not what investing is all about. It's really to take the capital and put it into use to build your business. And I don't care if you have to sleep on the floor or in your mama's basement. You've got to be lean and you've got to hustle and you've got to suffer as a founder sometimes. And to expect investors to just fund your lifestyle while you work on your idea ain't gonna happen. Okay, the third red flag is multiple founders and 0 personal capital invested. And I'll tell you another story. I had a famous rapper reach out one time and he was saying, hey Chris, we're starting a CBD company and meet with my co-founders. So I went to lunch and met with these guys and I think there was 5 or 6 co-founders, and all together, guess how much money they had each invested in the business? $0. And what came out later was they actually had a profitable THC marijuana business. I think it was in California or Colorado. This was kind of early in the marijuana days. And they were making cash flow from this THC business, but they wanted to start a CBD business separately and then use investor capital to fund it. And I was thinking, I'm like, everybody just wants THC anyway. Nobody really wants CBD. I think it's kind of bullshit. Obviously, that was a pass for me. And so number 4 is having a flawed business model. And there's several types of flawed business models, but I'll just give you one example. So there was a company that came in and pitched, and they were basically running a network of websites that were linking to the Amazon affiliate program. So they had a ton of traffic, they had really good SEO, and they had article writers and videographers and stuff. And so they were doing a lot of content, driving clicks to Amazon, and they were making a few $1,000,000 a year in cash flow through the Amazon affiliate program. But the problem is that's a good lifestyle business, but it's not an investable business. And here's why. If Amazon or Google makes a change to their algorithm or their policy, their business is dead in the water. And Google's done this several times where they've made major updates to the search rankings, and overnight companies have just gone from millions in revenue to zero. Or if Amazon changes the way that they either pay out commissions or the commission levels, that could leave them dead in the water. And so what I did, I gave them 3 pieces of advice. I said, number 1, what you should do is keep all the traffic on your site and collect email addresses. And then number 2, set up a simple like Shopify backend and either drop ship or self-fulfill orders. Stop sending the business to Amazon. Figure out a way to actually collect the money through your own company. And then number 3, increase lifetime customer value by building out a content and upsell machine. I mean, they had the traffic anyway. They were getting the clicks and the buys. They just weren't controlling the customer. And so they were literally at the mercy of Google and Amazon. And if either one screwed with them, their business was fucked. So look, I am far from being a professional angel investor, but so far I've had 2 exits and I have a positive ROI on my angel investing portfolio. So maybe a 20-something-year-old college dropout can outperform some MBAs. Hope this is helpful, guys. See you in the next video.